Hi. He says he wants me to go back and do some more work on a different chapter. So, let me see. I'm putting it together here in my notebook. Should raising independent kids be a part of your parenting objective? Many would say it depends on how you describe an independent child. Independence in children means giving your children the life tools they need to be able to make decisions that are right for them. It means giving your child the tools that give them confidence in their ability to do things for themselves. I think it was Anne Frank who said that parents can only give, good advice or put them on the right path. But I think the final forming of a person's character lies in their own hands, really. And what I mean by that is that, I'm writing this too at the same time, providing the right environment can certainly help your child develop important skills that will help them transition from, childhood through adolescence to adulthood even. We all naturally should want to prepare our kids to live happy and successful lives, right? So science says that there are different ways to get there. The good news is that you probably already practice some of the evidence-based approaches at home, and those you don't, are always easy to implement. I know at least 10 clear tips to raising a happy but also self-sufficient child. I'm going to share them with you. So, number one, I came up with focus in your child's efforts. After having my own children, 4 so far, and working with so many other children, I have naturally witnessed that some kids have an exceedingly difficult time dealing with even the most insignificant mistakes and failures, and others are able to be more easily overcome, setbacks. So you can either breathe life, into your child, or death. We've heard that. Reality, situations. I've come up with some growth mindset parenting, which is to help teach your child that they have the power to change most of the situations in their life. It can help teach them, too, that achievement requires work, effort, and specific strategies. And that is rarely a question of talent or luck. The best thing I did at a young age for my kids, and want to do the same when I, make more, the step kids, I get to co-parent and encourage. Every other parent, I can too, at a young age. I want you guys, ask your child, what do you want to do? What do you like? Say it's, dance or singing. Art even, whatever it is, encourage and get them doing it. If they are delighted in doing, then they are beginning their pace in the race, right? So this mindset suggests that how your child views the events that happen to them determine whether or not they can easily overcome setbacks. A child with a growth mindset believes they have what it takes to improve, while one with a fixed mindset sees things as fixed and unchangeable. I know now and share that the feedback we give our children largely affects their behavior. In other words, our words can either work toward or against, the development of the, growth thinking mindset, right? So, so focusing on your child, how clever you are, saying things like that, instead of their behavior, see how your efforts even, pay off through them. Use appropriate words and responding to your child's performance. can help sharpen their growth mindset skills. It can teach them even to see setbacks or temporary, problems, like moving from like addition to multiplication, in a homework assignment, for instance. They can learn, improve, and even overcome, with effort. Same goes for like reading, learning how to use a knife, riding a bike, right? Things like that. Here are 3 responses you can start using today to help your child learn that they have the power to change most of the situations that happen in their life. What will you try next time? Or what else can you try? Or maybe they want to try, skateboarding. Maybe they want to learn to use a pair of scissors. Maybe they want to try using a pair of scissors, or a stapler, even a hot glue gun, themselves. It's great how you try different strategies, until you found the one that works for you. We remember to see their growth and say it to them, for using, focusing their own efforts. It helps them understand that performance, requires effort and strategic thinking. It can help increase your child's self-reliance. So, it can help increase your child's self-reliance, or, sufficiency, whatever word you like better. Their ability to do things on their own. Number 2, foster gratitude to reinforce your child. Practicing gratitude, too, helps improve you and your child's psychological and physical well-being. It improves concentration, strengths, immune systems, reduces depression, stress. And anyway, so focusing on gratitude and teaching it to your kids, they're more attentive, determined, energetic. Enthusiastic, excited, interested, joyful, and strong. Gratitude can be an acquired skill if a conscious effort is made. We now know that practicing gratitude increases positive emotions. Teaching your child to adopt a habit of gratitude decreases pessimism, them being, and increases the happiness and satisfaction, basically with life in general, not just, maybe, us or them. There are simple ways to get gratitude into your child's routine. For instance, by picking a specific moment each day. For example, during meals, right before you eat, obviously, and asking each family member to name one thing for which they are grateful. I like that one. So, number 3, taming your kids' toys. I even had to take a lesson in that. So, you're familiar with the toys everywhere, right? So, get this. It seems to be something, many parents are familiar with. We now know that toys could actually be stifling your child's creativity, because researchers found that kids primarily use toys to escape other situations. Their study focused on the impact taking away these toys would have on the development of social and life skills, such as problem-solving skills and creativity. Find the need to pull back from the consumer-oriented society, which constantly drives kids to want more and more, and to consistently seek the latest thrill. Researchers actually found that the children without toys, they were removed for 3 months. Those kids became more creative, balanced, and more confident in their activities. They were also more likely to speak their minds and to use their skills and those of others, to achieve their objective, compared to the groups which was allowed to play with toys. I got tons of examples on that. I'll definitely be putting that in my book. Each, kid, especially when they're in timeout, toddlers. Oh my goodness, the trouble they would get into. Every bored kid found something to play with. That wasn't, a toy. So, number 4, doing chores helps build self-esteem. Many parents still believe that it is wrong to ask children to participate in household tasks. The science says that they are wrong. Doing things your kids can do for themselves teaches them to be dependent, actually, and prevents them from developing the confidence that comes with achievement. Encouraging your children to participate in age-appropriate household chores can have a positive impact on later outcomes. So, this is my new stuff. So including kids in chores is worth the effort. Starting chores early is among the greatest predictors of success as an adult. In fact, letting your kids skip household chores prevents them from developing important skills they will need, later in life. So chores have also been associated with social, emotional, and academic benefits. And they teach kids important skills such as responsibility, self-esteem, and accountability. That said, getting your child to help out around the house can be hard work. Start small. Make a list of at least 10 things your child can do by themselves. To complete your list, ask them even to propose ideas of chores that they would like to do. Motivate kids to participate in or continue doing household chores. Number 5, letting your kids get bored makes them more self-reliant and responsible. I get stories with, actually, even when my one son was 11. Isaiah, I'll put in my book. So parental intervention is not always beneficial when kids claim to be bored. Children actually need to have stand and stare time imagining and pursuing their own thinking processes or assimilating their experiences through play or just observing the world, around them, right? So, in other words, you do not have to feel guilty about not entertaining your child. Boredom can provide an opportunity for them to practice different skills such as decision-making and creativity. That said, your child needs a instructed but stimulated environment to arouse their creativity because of lack of structure can lead to frustration. That is why it is important to provide a let's call it constructive boredom framework that allows them to practice, decision making and to manage their time alone. The ways, for example, I will give you a few to nurture the constructive boredom, right? Help your child practice specific tasks, to develop their focused. So it could be like encourage your child to manage boredom, increase your child's capacity to stay focused on specific and items and ignore others. Increase your child's ability to think, before they act. Promote independent thought. Number 6, giving your child a sense of control makes them feel independent. Evidence suggests that encouraging your child to participate in decision-making fosters independence and creative thinking skills. Their ability to make sound decisions increases between the ages of 8 to 9 and 13. And they gain decision autonomy. So i.e. like the ability to make decisions. I might not like that word. I wrote that one. Without parental involvement. Yeah, I like that better. Between the ages of 12 and 17, letting your child play an active role in the decisions-making process teaches them to sharpen their critical skills. These are easy steps, questions to encourage them, to practice decision-making. I came up with, like, how will you achieve this? How can we achieve this? We will go with whatever you decide, what would you do? What do you want to do? Which one do you want? What do you think? What do you think we can change? What would you change? You keep including them even, in the dialogue. And this is, even at a young age. The more your child feels responsible for the decisions that, taken, the more they are likely to respect those decisions. There's a parent-controlled process to transfer as they grow older to make it easier for them to, manage their behavior. Like in a concrete manner, you're setting limits, or you're providing like a broad structure, then letting your child act, within those limits or boundaries, right? So, speaking of which, let's play it. Yep. She's got several of them. Looks like she's got 4 little ones, even. Let's take the example of homework. So a parent-controlled process can look like specifying by what time, homework should be done. Before 6 p.m. or like before watching TV or like before your video game. I really had to get on my voice for that. So letting your child decide by themselves when to do their homework limits options. Works particularly well with younger kids because it allows them to feel like they have like some control, over their actions. You could say something like, homework now or immediately after your shower, or like shower now, or like give them, like a 5 or 10 minute, warning. You can even set a timer. I know that works too. My youngest too needed that. It's like it was an alarm. It may increase their chances of success, and it did usually. Even widow, rice is ready. I'm setting the alarm, to ring after 5 minutes. Like you make an announcement. You guys get it. So, the kids are moldable, believe it or not. Number 7, use words that build your kids' self-esteem. The expression, sticks and stones, may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, comes to mind with this because I want you to understand it is one of the biggest lies ever told to a kid. Words do hurt. And the words we repeatedly hear can become, self-fulfilling prophecies. We all tend to act in line with what we believe is expected of us. And the same is true for your kid. See, this is where I'm adding. So, your words not only shape their personality, you develop with them, well beyond the childhood years. I suggest positive expectation of your child. These expectations can affect reality and become self-fulfilling prophecies. Come to think of it, I'm going to add to this now. The conversation I just had with CJ, I'm going to fill that example in, just 2 days ago. He's 25 now. And I was, I'm not going to give you the full conversation, I'll just give you a little piece of it. When I was expressing the part about, I said, perfection is not expected. You are becoming what is called an evolved man. Just be accountable. Versus like if I was talking to my 7-year-old, and their chore was, to give the pet food and water, I would say something like, treat it like how you would get a cup of water, clean bowl and clean water. The food, like your cereal, fresh food, clean container. You treat your pet like your best friend, and they will treat you, like you're theirs. You talk to them with a positive affirmation of expectation, and you get, pleasant participation and move forward, right? So I get to mold very different ages and stages, I'm writing, of my kids so I can practice and quite enjoy the revolving door of nurturing. I want to say, each one of their gorgeous souls according to not just how much I love them, but how old they are too. So avoid having low expectations because likely it leads to poor performance. how even you describe, your child's behavior will ultimately have an impact on how they behave. Your words communicate what you think about them. Scatterbrain or creative, nosy or inquisitive or shy or mindful. Gust of wind. Positive labels help build up your child, but they do not mean you should excuse, bad behavior. Your aggressive kid is not a born leader, nor is your sloppy kid an artist. But you're labeling them and hiding behind labels to avoid dealing with behavioral issues does your kid no favors. This is what you need to remember. Positive labels will build up your kid and help them learn to see themselves as a successful person. Negative labels may destroy them. So, number 8, focusing on your child's strengths. Dwelling on your child's weaknesses and your desire to fix what you believe is wrong prevents them from developing their natural talents. Let's call it, strength-based parenting, or pushing kids to perfection in areas where they are less inclined, means striving to live according to others' standards. I go with understanding that each of your kids is unique. So we were basically talking about, reduce the peer pressure. Us as parents, not just the kids. Kids are the kids when they go to school. Us parents, we're pressuring them too. We're also, peer pressure, right? A lot of people don't realize that. So to produce, the standardized kids focused on your child's strengths, it'll lead to greater success than forcing them to consistently practice activities for which they have neither the skill nor the interest. I call it strength-based parenting because I'm actually getting an example. God's so good, right in front of me with this lady with the kids out here playing. You help increase your child's happiness and satisfaction in ways that you never thought possible. We can help our children improve their resilience, and reduce, let's say, stress levels. So we're adopting a strength-based approach. So think of it like helping your kid to draw, on their personal struggle to cope with stressful situations. And it leads to higher levels of life satisfaction. And it also helps kids learn to deal with conflict in socially appropriate, of course, ways. It limits aggressive behavior, and I believe it leads to see themselves as a successful person, early on. So let me ask you something. If it's not your divine position to do that, then who is, right? Let's re-ask ourselves that question. Help your child learn to see themselves as a successful person. And then I said, let me ask you something. If it is not your divine position to do that, then whose is it, right? So, number 9, make time to hang out. Building healthy relationships right from childhood is one of the most effective ways of strengthening your family's bonds. It also gives your child a sense of belonging, which is fundamental to his happiness and well-being. The good news is the relatively simple activities you share as a family can make the difference between whether your family steps close-knit or falls apart. While we would also spend time with our kids, please remember that quality trumps quantity every time. This means you need to focus on how you are spending that time together rather than how much time you are spending together. Even when you have no time, you can still find easy ways to grab little moments. Number 10, reinforcing your child's emotional intelligence can improve their sense of autonomy and self-sufficiency. Did you know that your child's emotional intelligence determines their social, psychological, and even academic outcomes? It actually affects their intelligence. The emotional intelligence determines your child, be taught about and how to have emotions, and are better able to adopt, strategies to eliminate disturbing like their stimuli. For example, like emotionally intelligent kids are more likely to know when to walk away from unpleasant situations, or the activities to engage in to calm their angry even feelings. We now know that an emotionally intelligent child is more likely to I'd say build positive, I see this right here, social interactions and live peacefully. They're very peaceful right now with those around them. You make and keep friends and cooperate with others. You display traits such as empathy. They recognize their own emotions and those of the people around them. They respond to difficult emotions appropriately and express difficult emotions, control their impulses, and deal with frustrations too. Your child's ability to recognize their emotions. Sorry, I'm running out of paper for the next page. Just before I forget the rest of it. So, it's directly linked to their self-regulation skills. The most effective way to strengthen their emotion regulation skills is to teach them to identify emotions, their own and those of others. So remember that there are simple, age-appropriate strategies you can put into place starting today. So take advantage of their favorite shows or books to talk about the emotions displayed. Is a great way to get conversations about emotions started and keeps them ongoing. So for instance, saying something like I wonder why he looks so sad can be an easy way to start the conversation, talking about feelings, right? So I'm going to go so I can fill this stuff in before I forget. But I will talk to you guys soon, okay? Bye.